Yo, yo. What's good? How's everybody doing? Let's just let a couple people get in here. We'll get it going. Rock and roll, what's up, Stunner? Jordy, what's up, what's up? Suave writes, hello everyone, thoughts on dollar. I'll check out dollar in a second. David, what's up, man? I'm doing well. Let's go, Julian. What's good, Julian? Blaze, what's up, my guy? I feel like today isn't looking that good. I looked at the charts very briefly. Things don't look that good. What happened? I don't know what happened. All right. Damn, I gotta wake up. Hello from Botswana. That's insane. That's really, really cool. How much will cost private Discord? It'll most likely be $100 a month, which really is not a lot of money, to be honest. Just because of how much you'll learn, you can make $100 in a trade easily. That's one trade, easily. So for the amount of knowledge in the Discord, for the community, that's really not a lot in the grand scheme of things. Chris G, what's up, man? What's up? Jordy, same, don't see much today. Yeah, I briefly looked, it did not look that good. Speaking of today not looking good, Swiss franc moved aggressively, no news, also high from Botswana. That's sick, bro. Botswana. That's really, really cool. All right, let me look at the news really quickly. All right, we had GBP red folder earlier, and then we just have AUD red. There's no news today. Yeah, I mean, we just have the AUD red folder at 9:30. Yeah, that's not good, man. Probably not going to be a high probability day off the rip. I'm already getting that vibe. 9:30 p.m. red folder on AUD, nothing else. No USD news. I'm still going to check out indices in New York, kill zone, but once equity open happens, but what about GU? GU had a nice move. I didn't catch that long, unfortunately. I'm long USD CAD. Pray for me, bruh. Your charts aren't showing? Yeah, I haven't put them up yet. I'm about to right now. All right, let's get into it. Yeah. Thoughts about Bitcoin weekly, internal to external now. I don't really look at crypto, but I can check it out for you if you want. Give me 1 second. Closing this. Let me turn this down a little bit. All right. You guys should be able to see this perfectly. You just set my phone up. Sorry. Give me 2 seconds. I'm trying to be able to see the chat on my phone. Yo, Elijah, bro. How we doing? How you doing, bro? It's been a minute. I just was checking out your Twitter the other day and dropped a follow. I love what you're preaching, bro. I truly love what you're preaching on Twitter. What mic do I have? So I have it's called a 5-fine. I think it's called the K688. It's like a Shure SM7B. It's like that type of mic, podcasting mic. I have like the OBS settings tweaked for it. And then I have a audio interface that I run through. All right, let me catch up on the chat. Yo, Sensei, what's good, James? Opinion on AU. Let me check it out. I think we're gonna be ranging for a while, maybe through New York. Yeah, I could see today being slower for sure. There's no news. All we have is AUD news. Nasdaq starts falling. Also, hello from India. Damn, you're from India. That's sick. I'm from Kenya. Will you go through the currency pairs? Yeah, I can do whatever. I'm really today I'm kind of just gonna do a Q&A type thing. If you guys want to ask me questions or whatnot, whatever. But let me adjust my mic. Today looks slow in terms of actually taking a trade. I've been cutting up ES and NQ lately, not gonna lie. Kind of been on a heater, but I don't think today looks that clean. Nasdaq, let's look at NQ and ES because it's almost New York. Well, it's almost equities open. So Nasdaq, you know, obviously we want to submit to this monthly order flow. The monthly is very, very bullish, right? We want to submit to this monthly order flow. The weekly is pulling back to this fair value area, you know, fair value gap right here. So just looking at NQ, not factoring in ES yet, you know, if we do get a shift on the 4 hour, the 1 hour, if we get that clear change in state of delivery, we can potentially head higher from here, but I don't know if that's what we want to do yet. And the fact that we have no news, yeah, we might just mess around. But hypothetically, you know, this area should act as fair value if we want to head higher. If we don't, you know, head higher from this area, we're likely seeking liquidity lower. 4 hour has been, 4 hour got some nice moves overnight. Damn. See, I would need to see the 4 hour shifted to be able to long this right now. I'm not looking at longs, right? Because this is what I always talk about. These 1 hour and 4 hour time frames are a compass. You know, every time frame can be a compass guiding you from the higher time frame PD arrays, but the 1 hour and 4 hour specifically are just amazing compasses, right? And why would I look to long right now when the 1 hour and 4 hour aren't in alignment with that idea? You know, there's no reason for me to get long on the 5 minute or the 15 minute just because we do this if the 1 hour and the 4 hour aren't in alignment with that idea. So I always wait for, you know, the time frames to confirm the idea. So once we get that shift on the 1 hour and 4 hour, that's when I will consider longs. But right now, not looking good. This could potentially go lower. I mean, if we don't shift state of delivery, then we can potentially head lower. So this is the levels I'm seeing on the 4 hour. Daily created this order block here. Let's look at ES now. ES again, monthly bullish order flow. Weekly, we have this weekly BISI down here that we can't draw to. The other option is, you know, we just mess around rest of the week and create this new weekly BISI to head higher off of, but that seems unlikely to me. I think that we can draw lower. Order block here, we may be, you know, seeking the sell side depending on what NQ wants to do. And these are the premium arrays I'm looking at on the 4 hour, so we could potentially head lower off that. But again, it really depends on Nasdaq. If Nasdaq wants to get in line, if Nasdaq continues to decay lower, then I'll be favoring shorts, you know, from this area. But at this point, I'm kind of 50-50. So when I'm 50-50, when I can frame both sides, I know that it's low probability. You know, until it feels obvious to me, I'm not going to trade it. But yeah, yeah, just waiting on this pretty much. All right, let me look at the chat. I need to get locked in on forex, man. I have not been dialed on the forex, man. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've been really focused on indices. But I've been getting a lot of funding lately. Yo, just within the last 2 weeks, I've got like 400K, bro. So it's like, I gotta keep focusing on it because it's just clicking right now. Seeking it today, not look good. Yeah, you already read that. There. Good brother, hella changed as a man. All glory to God. And trading, finally my model. Let's go, bro. I love to hear that. Let's go. Love to hear that, bro. Keep it up. Ashwin. Yo, Cam, nice to join you, bro. Ashwin, appreciate you tuning in, man. How can we select a high probability trade based on news? It really depends on what you're looking at. Are you trading indices or forex? If you're trading forex, there's a lot of ways that you can go about it. Understanding exactly where price is drawing to, a very, very clear and obvious draw on liquidity is the foundation of everything. So if you don't understand where it's going with confidence, if you wouldn't, say to your friend, hey, I'll bet you X amount of money that this goes there, right? Then you probably aren't confident in the draw on liquidity and it's not obvious to you. So if you wouldn't put money behind it in like a friendly bet with your friend, then you probably don't know the draw on liquidity. So every trade that I take, I'll bet you, I'll bet you $50 it goes there, right? So that's how I feel about everything. If you don't feel that confident in the draw, then you probably shouldn't be trading that pair. And that should be the foundation of everything that you do. Took a loss on Euro JPY. Yeah, EJ, GJ, those yen pairs were kind of tough. Not gonna lie. Yen has just had a crazy retracement. Can you run us through that unicorn you've been taking lately? Yeah, I'll show you the unicorn. It's nothing crazy. ICT taught it. But ICT says that's the strongest algorithmic entry pattern. So why not just demand that on indices is where I'm at. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Give me 1 second. One second. Sorry, guys. All right. All right, so I gotta talk about the unicorn. Took a swing from the hourly on AUD CAD. What's your opinion on that? I'll look at it in a second. I got you. We gotta chop it up soon, brother. Definitely, bro. Shoot me a message on Discord. Hope, what's good? What's good? What's good? What's your reason for starting swinging, and what are some benefits you spotted? Swinging has just been easier. It's more simple. I enjoy swinging forex because I can turn my brain off and I can do both. So I have a blend. Like I have the best of both worlds right now, where I am intraday trading indices, ES and NQ. I'm intraday trading them, on the 5-minute and 15-minute. But then with forex, I'm swinging, and it just allows me to capitalize on both. Prop firms in both industries, just catch moves in both, instruments. So I just like the ability to be able to do both. And I can't intraday trade forex and futures at the same time. I just mentally, it takes too much energy. So those are some of the benefits. Can you look at CJ, please? Really thought we'd get a bullish move from the weekly FEG. The reason we haven't is because of yen. Because if you want a strong XXX yen pair, then you're gonna want a weak yen currency, and the currency has been so strong. How much do you risk per trade in indices? So I'm trading a bunch of $50,000 accounts on a copier. I have like 16 right now on what's it called, Replicanto, the copier. And so the top step in my fund of futures ones have $2,000 drawdown, and the Apex ones I think have $2,500. But what I'm risking is just $200 per trade, so that gives me 10 losses. So I'm giving myself 10 losses of room. I've never lost 10 losses in a row. I've never taken 10 losses in a row in my life. So, there should really be no reason that I ever lose those accounts, unless I tilt and get emotional, which usually isn't an issue for me. So, 10 losses should be more than enough room. Thoughts on seasonal tendencies? I personally don't use them. I don't think that they're necessary because the order flow will just show you where price is going. And you can see everything that you need to see in the price action. So I don't worry about seasonal tendencies. EU and GU both created a 4-hour for value gap. What do you suggest? If we get a 15-minute market maker buy model, is it good to buy? Gold, sir, buy gold or sell the gold now. Sure, MV7X. What's MV7X? I actually don't know what that is. NAS, SMT with S&P. What's your idea about weekly and Q chart? Right, so I just talked about it. NQ is at an area of fair value, but you need to see the lower time frame shift. We need to see the 1 hour and 4 hour shift here. Otherwise, this is going lower. So we can potentially head higher off this, but I really don't. It's not looking that way at all. You know, it seems to me like these want to pull back more. So right now I'm kind of just waiting. All right, what were the other questions? Someone was asking about a unicorn. Let me talk about the unicorns. All right, so let me see if I can find some of the trades I took. I took a unicorn long. Okay, let me go over this trade I took the other day. It's a good example of the unicorn. So at this time, you know, we still had the 1 hour and 4 hour bullish. So I have the 1 hour in alignment. All the order flow from the top down is bullish in alignment with higher prices. So I'm favoring longs. You know, I'm looking for higher prices on S&P. This is the trade I took. Was that yesterday? Is today Wednesday, bro? I'm lost. Yeah, so it was yesterday. Damn, I'm lost. All right, so essentially what I'm doing on every single trade you'll see is that I need to understand with what's the word? Like conviction. That's the word I'm looking for. I need to understand with conviction that price is going somewhere, that I have a clear draw on liquidity. So to me, you know, this previous day high was looking like very clear draw at the time. Every single trade I take intraday has a 1 hour or 4 hour PD rate, and it's always either a fair value gap or a liquidity pool that I'm trading off of. So that's Monday. That is not where I took my trade. This is my trade right here. We get this 1 hour fair value gap higher within New York kill zone. So 8 to 12 is where I operate within. So I entered a bit early, drop into the 5 minute, you know, time frame alignment. 1 hour for value gap, 5 minute entry. We get this stop hunt. This is our breaker. And we get a fair value gap aligned with that breaker block. So a breaker is just simply a stop hunt. It's how the market turns. There's two ways the market turns. The market turns like this, where it runs out the high and turns. So it's a stop hunt, a liquidity grab, whatever you want to call it. Right, we hunt this buy side right here, and then the market turns and goes lower, and then we trade back into that breaker, and we should head lower off that. It should become an area where, you know, price is getting orders mitigated, so it becomes resistance. The other way that the market turns is with a failure swing. It's only two ways the market turns, right? So it's either that breaker or it's a failure swing. The failure swing fails to run this liquidity. It fails to stop hunt this high. Literally the only two ways the market turns. So with unicorns, we're focused on the breaker swing point, where we run this low. This becomes an area of support, and we head higher off that. So when you're marking these breakers, you're marking the highest up close candle before that liquidity grab. This becomes a breaker, acts as support. So all a unicorn is a breaker block with a fair value gap aligned with it. So this series of up close candles, you could take the highest one if you want, but this series of up close candles is a breaker. This is where, you know, the order should be mitigated and it should act as support. We also have the fair value gap in alignment with it. So I've been trading purely unicorns on indices, and I've been absolutely loving it because the consistency of them delivering 2R has been so high. So it's a breaker plus a fair value gap. That's all a unicorn is. And then all I do is literally set my entry at the breaker, because if you think about the PD array matrix with ICT, you know, we can trade into a breaker and then leave the breakaway gap. We don't need to trade into a fair value gap if there's a breaker. It's a hierarchy. All you do is, you know, target 2R. I had my stop lower. I had my stop like right here or something. Targeted 2R and just let it go. And that's all I've been doing on indices. You know, 1 hour or 4 hour PD array, 5 minute or 15 minute unicorns when I understand where price is drawing to. Right now, I can't say with conviction where this is going, because I can see this wanting to target this sell side here on ES, but I also could see, you know, NQ shifting from this fair value gap. Gun to my head, I think it goes lower right now, but I don't know. So I don't, when I'm 50-50 like this, I sit out. All right, let me catch up on the chat, man. Oh, okay. Sure, MV7X. The mic I said is it's called a Fifine K688. It actually sounds really good. How can you manage to trade futures on a different platform? You just have to use a different broker, bro. I'm not using the same broker. So I use Tradevate for futures. I have a live personal account in Tradevate. I also have a bunch of prop accounts. So basically my live account, I didn't even notice that was you, Zeus. Zeus, I didn't even know that was you. I didn't read it when you said sir buy gold or sell now. Damn, that's funny. So I have a live account on Tradevate. I copy trade the live account on Tradevate to my other prop firm accounts with futures. And then for forex, I have an Owanda demo account that copy trades to all the prop firms that I'm using for forex. What's your take on quarterly theory? Truthfully, I think it's noise. I think you can make it work if it resonates with you and it works well for you, then use it. But I think a lot of that stuff is noise. I'm not worried about any other fancy concepts. I think all you need is fair value gaps and liquidity pools. And anything beyond that, you're just overcomplicating it. But that's just my opinion. Cannot wait to get back on YouTube, waiting to get my first payout. Love it, bro. Definitely hop back on YouTube. Don't you miss a lot of trades? I do not. I really don't miss that many trades. I catch a lot, but that's probably partly because experience and repetition and just seeing the model a lot. Don't know how to choose to trade between NQ and ES like right now. If I'm shorting, I'm taking the weaker of the two. If I'm longing, I'm taking the stronger of the two. And whichever is cleaner. What do you think on AUD CAD 1 hour swing longs? Already entry offered. Not looking nice though. AUD news tomorrow. AUD CAD move. Yeah, you guys keep talking about AUD CAD. I'll look at it. Didn't have it on my watch list. This should act as fair value. Obviously, right now we're not trading anywhere near that level. The weekly fair value gap down below can potentially act as a draw on liquidity. So you want to gauge the 4 hour. Where is the 4 hour order flow pointing? Is the 4 hour order flow pointing towards that weekly BISI? Because that could potentially be somewhere that we draw to. You know, the higher time frame fair value gaps act as a stronger magnet. Okay, so to me, I'm not seeing the long idea here. 4 hours not in alignment to go higher. The weekly fair value gap here can act as a magnet to potentially head higher off of. I'm definitely not seeing the long idea here, truthfully. Yeah, I wouldn't touch this. Personally, just being completely honest with you guys, I'm not trying to be harsh, but definitely not seeing the longs. I would wait. You know, potentially we can draw towards this level and have a really nice weekly context going into next week. If we get weekly context, trade into that weekly gap, then the 4 hour shifts. I would love to see that. Something like this. We get our weekly context 4 hour buy model towards this liquidity up here. But yeah, I'm not seeing the longs on those, truthfully. You guys got to keep everything in context of the higher time frame. So taking longs there is unfavorable regardless of this daily gap, right? I understand that you guys see the daily internal to external here, but you got to understand you need to weigh out every time frame. You need to understand that the weekly gap acts as a stronger magnet. We're also creating a daily SIBI here, so that daily imbalance is also pointing towards this weekly gap, and so it's just not things that I would want to see for a favorable long. And so what you'll likely see is that this daily gap may send it higher. We may even break a gap towards that weekly fair value gap before potentially heading higher next week. So those are my AUD CAD thoughts, but it's not on my watch list. Shorts could be valid. The only thing I don't like is where NQ's at. I don't like how NQ's in this gap. But like ES, if I was only looking at ES, I'd be looking for shorts right now. off of like once this 4-hour SIBI forms in 20 minutes, could be a nice short here. This breaker block for value gap. Why is it a breaker? What did we just talk about? Right? Two ways the market turns: stop hunts or failure swings. What do we do here? We create a stop hunt, aka a breaker block. This is our breaker swing point. So this is a 4-hour unicorn. Could be nice for lower. I need to see NQ decay more, but potentially shorts. I'll trade counter trend, right? The daily, the weekly, the monthly are still bullish order flow on indices. So the most favorable thing you can do is long them. But with my intraday model, with my intraday trading, I will trade counter trend. This 1-hour SIBI here, but I don't like it with the 4-hour gap forming up here that we can potentially retrade to. So I'll have to just wait. I'm not really interested in trying to short this. I also think NQ is in a weird spot. Just inherently, you know, I may take a trade, but I'm knowing that it's likely lower probability. Wow, talk about simple. Thank you. Appreciate that. I got you, man. That's the main thing that I want to do here, truly, is teach the most simple way to be profitable with this, you know, with these candlesticks, with price action. I mean, if you look at my charts, I'm not even, you know, saying this in a cocky way. I'm just being honest. Like, I don't think there's like no one out there that's doing it more simple than this. It's a gray box and a gray line on my charts from the top down. I have monthly, weekly, daily, 4-hour, 1-hour, 5-minute, or 15-minute, 5-minute. And from the top down, I have a gray box and a gray line, and that's all I'm using. And the reason for that is because that's all you need. Price is only ever drawing to imbalances in price or liquidity pools. So all I mark out is imbalances in price and liquidity pools. Gray boxes are the fair value gaps. Gray lines are the areas of liquidity that price is drawing to. So I don't need to do anything else. You know, that's all that we need to do. So this overlapping area here, this breaker block, fair value gap, I want to see price at lower off that. NQ needs to continue to decay through this weekly level for me to feel good about shorting ES. But what I would be looking for is, once we trade into this area, you know, we can either head lower off of this, or we might dig deeper into the breaker block. But once we trade into that area of interest, you know, that premium array on the 4-hour, right? I'll see bullish 5-minute towards that. Once we do that, what I want to see is a unicorn model. So I want to see this high get stop hunted, and I want to see clear displacement through the breaker, and then I get short right there. Risk the protected high. This high should remain protected. If the draw on liquidity is lower, that high will not get invalidated. Target 2R. That's all I'm doing on indices. Rinse and repeat. Every single trade. This is what you guys need to understand. Every single trade looks like that. Every single trade. You know, if your trades don't consistently look exactly the same, then you're probably not consistent. And that's not a knock on you guys. It's just the truth. If every trade isn't looking the same, that's a huge indicator of why you're not consistent. Because if you want consistent results, your approach needs to be consistent. Every trade that you take should look consistent. It should look like the same thing. You know, either a long or a short, but it should be the same setup. AUD, CAD, daily gap, the context and weekly is bad. Yeah, there's just some big red flags on AUD CAD, truthfully. Send you a screenshot of Discord, brother, so when you get a chance, let me know if this is the right one. For sure, for sure. I'll check it out after the stream. Would you not take the AUD CAD long? Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. There's a lot of red flags on that AUD CAD long, personally, in my opinion. Can work out. You know, everything can still work out, but lots of red flags. Yes, this is a weekly breakaway gap, but the daily, the 4-hour right now are pointing towards it. Daily has created this bearish fair value gap in the direction of that weekly breakaway gap. I see what you guys are saying about it being a breakaway gap at the time, but right now the 4-hour and daily order flow are saying they want lower. So taking longs right now are not favorable. You don't have the daily or the 4-hour on your side. You know, at this point, only the 1 hour has shifted, and this is just really, really sloppy. So I'm not a fan personally. NQ is decaying lower. This is gun to my head what we're thinking. This order block is discount. So I don't use SMT, but just a highlight for you guys, for my SMT guys, right? This is our breaker swing, and then this is our failure swing. So this is SMT. This is where we know that NASDAQ is weaker than ES right now because it failed to run those highs, created a lower high here. That SMT, I believe those are the same highs, 7:15, 7:16. Wait, what is the time? 7:15, 10 a.m., 7:16, 2 p.m. 7:15, 10 a.m. Yeah, no. Those aren't the same highs. 2 p.m. Sorry, I'm slow. All right, this high. Same thing, right? Still SMT. We run this high, 7:15, 6 a.m., 7:15, or 7:16, 2 p.m. 7:15. Bro, I'm slow right now. You guys get what I'm trying to say, right? This, yes, creates a higher high, runs this high. That's a breaker swing point. So NQ is relatively weaker because we fail to create that breaker swing. We create a failure swing. So SMT, guys, NQ is creating SMT. I don't know why that was so hard for me to portray, but the only reason I like ES, although NQ is weaker, is 4-hour unicorn. They both should decay lower, and because I'll have that 4-hour PD rate to trade off of, whereas NQ likely is going to be a breakaway gap. ES might be a bag too, depending on how this candle closes in 15 minutes. But let me check the chat. All right. Do you switch your bias? Yes, absolutely. Draw on liquidity, bias changes constantly throughout the week. The highest probability is it's going to stay the same throughout the week. Like, it's going to feel very, very obvious where price is going the whole week, and we're just going to expand in one way the entire week. But that's unrealistic because a lot of times draw on liquidity changes, things change, things like look very high probability, then more order flow, more price action forms, and you realize it's not. And so you shift your focus to something else, or the draw changes, or yeah. So if price is doing the opposite of what you expect, then you know it's low probability. You know, at least for me, when I am consistently getting a pair wrong, I know that it's low probability and that it's hard to read price action, because the highest probability is when it feels very obvious to me and it does exactly what I expect. How to backtest your strategy as there are loads of pairs to trade. I'm not a fan of backtesting. I think that it creates bad habits. It doesn't factor in the emotional side of trading. So I would recommend, if you're going to try and learn how I trade, just do it live with a demo. Create a demo account. Show up every single day to the charts. And trade the trade plan. I personally would not recommend backtesting. I don't think that it's very useful other than pattern recognition. That's probably the only thing I think backtesting is that good for. That's a hot take, but it's my opinion. Tracking all of stuff, forex and futures, intraday and swing. I personally don't. I mean, there's a million trades. You can trade a million ways, so there's always going to be trades that are missed, hypothetically. You know, if I was a 1-minute trader, I'm missing a bunch of 1-minute trades, but I don't trade that way. So for my strategy, for the way that I trade, for what, you know, my strategy provides, the setups that my strategy gives, I don't miss trades. I really very rarely miss trades for what my, you know, strategy provides. Check ES 5-minute unicorn. I'm just not ready to short it with the 4-hour gap up there. Are you talking about this? That was a unicorn, yeah, but I'm not the biggest fan of taking a short right now. This one didn't offer 2R. I also wouldn't have taken it, but yeah, this is a unicorn right here. I'm not interested in shorting the Sibi right here because I think that we can draw higher to the 4-hour in 11 minutes. You know, it might want to offer premium and head lower. Notice how I just wait, man. Like I wait. There's no rush to get involved. There's no FOMO. There's no chasing. I don't feel the need to force things. Just wait for the model. You show your current watch list, please. Yeah, I haven't updated it. My watch list is probably, this is like unupdated. I haven't really caught up with forex. I really haven't been focusing on forex because it takes a good amount of focus to be trading in indices intraday. So I haven't been too focused on forex, but that's what I have for longs. Let me look at gold really quick, see if that's still valid. All right, gold took that monthly buy side, so now we no longer have that gold internal to external draw. So I would take a step back from gold right now. We do have this daily gap forming. We may continue to expand through that monthly level, but there's nothing to do on gold right now, so I would add it to the wait list. It needs more context. GU, monthly internal to external. Weekly breakaway gap. Forming another potential weekly breakaway gap. You know, we've seen the strength on GU lately. Yeah, this trade was nice. I missed it. So there's an example of a missed trade, but I really don't miss a lot of trades. Yeah, that entry was in the afternoon. That's why I wasn't looking at the charts yesterday. I was with my girl. Right here would have been the entry. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't looking at charts yesterday or yesterday night in the afternoon. Wait, is there any context on GU? There's nothing to do right now on GU either, so I'll move it over to the wait list. Monthly chop, not favorable, but yeah, this just looks gross. I don't know why I added this to the long list. Just this daily context. I just don't like the weekly or monthly, but I do think that this can go higher from here. We want to see the 1 hour shift bullish. Small gap there, not the most ideal gap, but you do want to see potentially higher prices here. But I'm not a big fan of this. On the weekly and monthly, it just looks really sloppy. Yen, we've been bearish on. Weekly breakaway gap. Just nothing to do here. No clear context. I mean, obviously it's very one-sided and going lower, but unless you operate off of 4 hour context, there's not much to do here again. Crude oil. Wow, that's a strong retracement after drawing to this weekly BISI. Interesting. All right, we have this daily Sibi here. Overlapping area, maybe offering premium to still head lower. If we fail to offer fair value here and head lower, then we're probably seeking buy side. But I need to see this shift bearish right now. There's no reason to short this yet. But shorts towards that weekly gap could be nice still. I'm not ready to flip longs yet. I need to see this fail to offer fair value. And then, yeah, these are the wait lists. Silver, same thing. I want to see lower silver. Where's that weekly gap down here? Just haven't been dialed on the forex, truthfully. All right, chat. I got to show you my model when you got time. It took me 3 years to find it down, and I'm killing it now. Love that, bro. That's amazing. In future, I want to teach people, especially people that are struggling. Like I said, wait for consistent. Yeah, for sure, bro. Definitely do that in the future, though. What do you think about yesterday long on EJ? It's tough because of yen. The reason that failed is because of yen. Yen's been blasting off. You know, we wanted to see potentially lower prices from this weekly BISI. I said that there's two ways that this can go. The weekly BISI either sends this lower in the 4-hour shifts, or, you know, disrespects this area on the weekly and we head higher. But this is a tough spot. I mean, I guess we're offering premium at this range. But yeah, yen's in a weird spot. Wouldn't want to touch yen pairs right now. USD CAD daily for value gap. Price retraced on 4-hour demand. What am I missing? Thanks for explaining. I should have realized how bearish the 4-hour looked on AUD CAD. I had a back test. I just answered that question. Inside back testing game. Yeah. Facts. Put on some risk, man. Throw the risk on. Grab a demo. Trade live. That's the growth. That's where you'll get the growth, bro. What about AU long idea from the 1 hour? I have AU on the long list. Weekly. Internal to external. Yeah, this doesn't look bad. You want to see a new gap get formed here. It doesn't look terrible. No new 4-hour gap. I like the idea though. I think that is valid. I think that this can definitely head higher. Yeah, I see the vision. It's like $1. You want a weak dollar? Dollar's very weak. I see the vision, bro. See how at AU we're pairing, you know, strong Australian dollar currency with a bearish dollar. You always want to pair strong and a weak currency. I talk about this all the time. Very, very high probability to do so. That's when you're going to get more one-sided price action. Dollar expanding through this level. This is what I was talking about on the forecast. We wanted to gauge if dollar creates a body close through that, which would indicate lower prices on dollar and a weak dollar, or does it sweep that level? You know, we very clearly expanded through that. So I'm not flipping long on this right now. We're showing the intention to want to create new fair value gaps lower. We're showing clear intention lower. So I'm bearish on dollar still. This area becomes fair value on the weekly. YOLO, what's good, bro? YOLO G. 4-hour candle closing in 12 minutes. Just waited out for more clarity. Exactly. Exactly how I feel right now. And yes. And thank you. Candle close in 2 minutes. If we do trade higher into this, I will potentially look for shorts if it offers a breaker, but that isn't the most favorable. You know, I think that can play out. I think it's valid. I will take it. It meets my trade plan, but that's basically where I stand. I think that this can go lower off that. Gold sell now, sir. Very good. My signal channel said sell. Let me look. You're funny, bro. Oh yeah, for sure. Right now, definitely. We're just blasting off. What about journaling? Absolutely journal. Absolutely. No question about it. I journal to this day. Every single trade. Should I only journal setups I take and go down on watch lists or more pairs that are... I journal every single trade. I would just literally, so as soon as you take the trade, journal it, put the entry, whatever, mark your emotions before, as you take it, then mark your emotions during it, mark your emotions after, and then win or loss, collect all the data. What do you see in hindsight, etc., etc. What's your risk strategy? Do you have a fixed risk per trade, or do you cut while in drawdown? That's a good question. I personally do static risk. I know my numbers. So if you know your numbers and you know that, you can't lose X amount of trades, static is fine as long as you can mentally deal with being in more drawdown, right? So if you're risking 2% static per trade idea and you go on a 4 loss streak, you're going to have 8% in drawdown. And some people mentally won't be able to deal with that. They will start to get hesitant. But me, I know my numbers. I'm not worried about, anything like that. I can take 8% drawdown and be fine with static risk. Those few winners that I take after that will take me out of that. Right? So if I go down minus 4R, it only takes me 2 wins to get back. The next 2 trades, I'll be back at break even out of that drawdown. So I'm fine doing static risk personally. Mentally, it doesn't affect me. I know my numbers. So it really depends on what you want to do. But I understand the logic behind cutting risk because it stops the bleeding, it stops the drawdown, flattens your equity curve. But I personally don't do it. I'm in the AU long, but the only thing I don't like is that it's not giving a 4-hour fair value gap yet. Yeah, I feel that. Ideally, you want to see a new 4-hour gap get created, but still valid. I see the idea here, bro. I don't think that it's a bad trade idea. You need to see price head higher off this OB. If it doesn't head higher off this OB, you're cooked. But it should do that. Yeah, you want to see this OB hold. It's really gonna bag like that, man. Sheesh. Let's see if it breakaway gaps. What's good, Brody? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's up, Hercules? Can you take a look at pound Swiss franc? Man, I just answered that question. Not the pound one. This one. How to backtest your model. I just answered that, bro. I don't recommend backtesting. I would not backtest my model. My best advice for you is to create a demo account, study all my videos, join the free Discord, study what I teach, master the model via live trading. So show up to the charts every single day with the demo account and master live trading. The best thing that you can do for yourself is show up every single day and trade a demo, trade live price action, because there's a huge learning curve when you go from, back testing a model to actual live trading, catching it in real time, taking losses, understanding your psychology. You have to deal with emotional highs and lows when you're live trading. So I personally would not backtest my model. The only thing that backtesting is good for, in my opinion, is pattern recognition. Again, this is a hot take. This is just my opinion. I think that it's good for pattern recognition, but beyond that, it really doesn't build any other skills. And I'd argue it builds bad habits, because you can take a loss on Monday on a back test and then just flip to Wednesday and go take the next trade. And it doesn't teach you anything about emotions or dealing with a loss. With live markets, you might take a loss on Monday. If your next trade is not till Wednesday, you have all that time to sit and deal with your emotions after that loss. Was looking at our chats from last year, dog. I've changed so much in trading, actually insane. Just never quitting. Yeah, bro. I mean, I never doubted it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never doubted it for either of us, just because I know that neither of us would ever stop. It's inevitable if you just stick with it. It's actually inevitable. Can you make a video on entries? Absolutely. So I have a video coming out on order flow shifts. Order flow shifts is change in state of delivery, market structure shift, ST, whatever. I have a video coming out on order flow shifts and entries. What's up from South Africa? That's fire. What's up, bro? Appreciate you tuning in. How do you manage your funded accounts? If you make, for example, 2%, do you leave the account for a payout and move to another? So once I hit 4%, I'm good. I'm done with that account. I cycle to the next. I risk 1% on fundeds. I risk 2% in eval phases. So it'll take me 2 wins. With futures, it's a lot different because you have to hit X amount of money and then you have to leave yourself X amount of money of drawdown. It's kind of hard to explain. I don't really feel like explaining it, to be completely honest, but futures is a lot different. So with futures, I'm running my accounts up to 54 grand. And then once I'm at 54,000, I will withdraw $2,000. I have like 15 accounts on the copier. So that'll be a really big payout. And then I'll still leave myself $2,000 of drawdown to deal with like normal. If not trading a funded account, would you recommend taking 1 NQ or 10 MNQ and scaling it out for runners? I personally don't scale. If you want to do that, if it works for you, that's fine. I just do static 2R, in and out, full position off at 2R. You can do runners if that's what resonates with you. I don't know what you mean by if not trading a funded account. Does that mean you're trading a personal? Does that mean you're trading a demo? You know, what are you trading? But NQ is just going to be more cost per point. You know, the NQ contract just moves 10x the micro. I tried to trade IRO to ERO with a higher time frame. PD rate seems to take so long, not to mention there's a 50. So basically right now, dollar weak, AUD strong, pound strong, CAD consolidate. Exactly. Go through all the currencies, categorize them like that, pair the strong and the weak. Obviously, you still need context, you need order flow to agree with that on the pairs that you're trading. But man, I'm fully lost trading. Took a breaker trade on ES and I'm still about to lose. I don't understand where to go anymore. Join the Discord, man. I'll gladly help you out. I will gladly help guide you through this, but there's normal ups and downs with trading. I would encourage you to just walk away from the charts for now and reassess. There's so many ups and downs to trading. I would have to look at your trade and how you're trading to understand what you may be doing wrong. I don't know what your model is. I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? There's so many ways to trade, but definitely join the free Discord, bro. I'll link it right here. I'll gladly help out. What trade copier do you use? I use Replicanto by Flowbots. Basically, it's a NinjaTrader add-on. So it's a trade copier within NinjaTrader. It's called Replicanto by Flowbots. This thing's just breakaway gapping. There's nothing for me to do here. The 1 hour Sibi is respecting. I didn't want to take this because of that 4 hour gap up here that was forming. Could have acted as a higher time frame draw. So I would rather err on the side of caution than try to short this and then get blasted through for the 4 hour gap that's right here. Because we hadn't closed this 4 hour candle yet. So for that reason, that's why I didn't take that Sibi. This looks good though. Here is your unicorn. This doesn't look bad at all. Because we have created this breakaway gap, we're likely not retesting this area right now. This could be valid. Let me look at NASDAQ. I'm logging into my thing, you guys. Here, wait, hold on. I should have already done that. Shit. I passed one of my funded futures yesterday. I have one more to pass. No, I have 2 more to pass. I'm lying. I have 2 more to pass. Passed one yesterday. All right, back to the chart. NASDAQ. Very much weaker. So now if we're going to create a breakaway gap on the 4 hour, this 1 hour high from that Sibi should get respected. So now that I see that this 4 hour is likely a breakaway gap, I'm more comfortable taking this short. At the time, we hadn't closed this 4 hour candle. We hadn't confirmed that this is a breakaway gap. So this could have retested and blasted through that 1 hour SIBI. So that's why you guys got to understand everything that I'm doing. There's a reason for it. You know, I didn't take this 1 hour SIBI at the time because that 4 hour candle was setting up, hadn't closed yet, and could have retested to trade to this area. But now that we have more price action, more knowledge, you know, as time has passed, we can see that that is clearly going to be a breakaway gap. So this short should follow through lower. But I'm just going to not get involved with this. At least that's how it's looking. 15-minute unicorn now. That's a beauty. This looks really nice. Again, the unicorns, they hit, bro. They hit. I'm telling you, they hit. Trust me, you have my seal of approval, my stamp of approval. The unicorns hit. This is a big ass though, 25 point. Yeah, I don't know if I would have spread. This thing's dying. NQ is decaying, likely seeing lower prices, right? We have not respected this area, so now we're likely seeking sell side. It's exactly what I said I was leaning as well. Daily. This 15-minute unicorn would be nice if we create a gap here, but kind of a big ask in terms of targets. Let me look at the chat. All right, brother, I'm out. Talk to you soon. Text on Discord. For sure, bro. For sure. Appreciate you tuning in. What do you think about pound CHF? I'll check it out in a second. Definitely need the guidance. I feel like I understand what I'm doing. Then as soon as I take a trade, it's just fully lost. Just join the Discord. I'll wait for the... Yeah, shoot me a message on Discord, man. I'll wait for the previous day high low to be taken. They're strong SMT with ES. Did you try to get long? Do you wait for the fair value gap to form when a unicorn forms? Yeah, I wait for the fair value gap to close. So that third candle needs to close. What's happening with gold right now? Sheesh. We're sweeping this level. This is exactly what I was talking about, right? We took this monthly buy side liquidity. That's why I took this off the long list. There's nothing to do here. This is a level where, you know, price can pull back. We can set up this gap. This is a major premium array on the monthly. So that's why I took this off the long list. There's nothing to do here. So price is potentially sweeping that monthly buy side right now. But yeah, to answer your question for that unicorn, I wait for the third candle to close. So I need to see this third candle close and align with the breaker. Looks like this weekly gap. Maybe the draw here. So I want to see this third candle close. I'm watching this 15-minute unicorn setup. Towards this gap. Could be nice. $25 points is a big ass though. On yes. Other option is if we retrace to this 5-minute uni, this would also be valid for me to short here. That would be a strong retracement though. that would prevent this 15-minute. Oh no, it wouldn't. Going to set my order here for short. We'll see if this is a loss. What account am I on? I'm gonna leak my account. I really don't care. I need 800. I'll take one. My order got rejected. What does that mean? I don't know why it's getting rejected. Okay. I have no idea why my order's getting rejected. Maybe it's a glitch on their end. On Tradeovate's end. That is odd. 50. I'm 800 away from passing this one. I'm 1.5k away from passing this one. Does this one get rejected as well? This one gets rejected. So maybe it's a Tradeovate issue on their end. I read on Twitter that Tradeovate is having a lot of issues lately. But yeah, it looks like I'm not going to get filled because I can't place my order. So not much I can do here. We'll see if this plays out. I guess we're taking a mental trade here. That's a bit frustrating, but it is what it is, I guess. I'm pretty sure Tradeovate's just having a bunch of issues lately. I'm just going to keep trying. Bracket order rejected due to main order rejection affected. I don't know what that means, but yeah, I can't place an order. All right, well, let's see if I avoid a loss. Tradeovate has some issues right now, so they reject orders. Annoying as fuck. Yeah, that's annoying. I heard that Tradeovate's been having a lot of issues. I can probably take it on my Apexes, but I can't execute on TradingView for you guys. You guys won't be able to really see it. I could do it through my Ninja Trader potentially. R Trader. Told you, bro. Signal group short code. Because the monthly buy side or what? Are you on MFFU? Yeah, I'm on my funded futures. Music, bruh. Here, I'll change it. There, I changed it. Yeah, it's Tradeovate. Mine was doing this 2 days ago. If that's my funded futures, they said to stop trading it if you're using Tradeovate. Okay, yeah, so that's why. Well, I guess we're taking a mental trade, boys. Let's see if we avoid a loss or if we would have got a win. Mental short, exactly. Have Alpha fixed your account yet? Nope, bro. I literally disputed the charge on my credit card because they didn't give me a new account. So I basically told my credit card company that they didn't deliver on their service because they wrongfully breached my account. Didn't give me a new account after they literally emailed me back and said that they had server issues with DXTrade and that it was a glitch, and then they didn't do anything about it. So I filed a dispute on my credit card and I should win that dispute. If I don't, I have no idea. All right, would have got tagged in right here at the breaker. Let's see if this ends up being a loss. My stop would be right here. Let me get this right. Stop would be right here to our target right here. See if this will be a loss. This is it. Would be an interesting mental short here. The 5-minute unicorn. So this is the breaker. And this is the fair value gap. This is our unicorn short. You can cover the breaker if you want like that. It's target 2R like this. That's another way to do it. Or you cover the bodies. Either works. Let's see if this delivers. May have been a loss, may have been a win. We shall see. Doesn't matter to me. Bars. Do you mind telling us your definition of unicorn setup? I was explaining it before, but basically it's just a higher time frame PD array. So either a fair value gap or a liquidity pool on the higher time frame. Then you drop into your entry time frame. You wait for a swing high or a swing low. So assume we're shorting a bearish unicorn. You wait for a swing high. The swing high gets swept. Swing point gets taken. Then we get clear displacement through that lower. A fair value gap forms aligned with the breaker block that forms right here, and then you short this. So this is a breaker swing point. This is a unicorn setup with a fair value gap right here. This is what makes it a unicorn. It's a fair value gap that forms within a breaker block. That's our breaker. Breaker right here, fair value gap right here, unicorn. So that's breaker swing, and then we have a failure swing. That's the other way the market turns. The market will fail to sweep this high like this. This is our failure swing. It's also how you can view SMT. So it looks like I'm taking a mental short on this one. If this regardless of whatever, I'm putting this in my journal as a valid trade. So whether it's a loss or a win, this would have been a valid trade. Like I tried to place the orders. So for me, this is something I'm collecting data on. I've been making sure to journal everything. So I'll be journaling this after. What does the credit card company say then? Do they like, no, they don't attack them. They just, they review the case. They need to see that what I'm saying is valid. If they do, then they will get a refund essentially for me. And then that's why you always want to buy prop challenges through a credit card. And then you can dispute the charges if something like this happens, because I literally did nothing wrong. They failed my account and then they didn't refund me. So I just disputed it with my card. I use Chase. Chase is really good with disputes. Look at hour 12. Bro, I'm not looking at hour 12, dog. I am not doing that, brother. Maybe 1 hour. I will never look at the 12-hour time frame, dog. So is the old daily fair value gap that we are in on NQ invalidated? Which one? This? I only worry about the current price legs. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I can't get in right now, bro. Shoot. I was gonna see if I can get in on my apexes, but it's too late, bro. We're cooked. The unicorns are the sauce, man. Sauce. Yeah, I have a new YouTube video coming out soon, guys. New YouTube video coming soon. I have a lot of big things coming, man. I really appreciate you guys for all the support. You know, I just truly love helping everyone. I want to teach you guys the most simple way of being profitable in trading. You know, I want to show you guys the easiest, most simple way of viewing price, the easiest, most simple way of profiting from trading. That's my goal. You know, I want to do it better than anyone else. A lot of these cats, I'm not trying to talk, you know, smack, but a lot of them overcomplicate it. They have way too much going on, and it becomes very hard for their students to replicate that, because when you have 1,000 things on your chart going on, all that does is cause you to not be able to focus on your emotions, and cause you to not be able to effectively manage your risk. And you just become, you know, your own enemy in a sense. So I really want to teach the most simple way of viewing price, and always be transparent with you guys. You're never going to see me flexing cars or flexing money. Like, I'm not trying to ever be a guru, forex guru type, you know what I'm saying? You will never get that from me. What you're gonna get here is transparency, someone who's real about the highs and lows of trading, you know, what it really means to be profitable trading. I've been trading since 2020, like late 2019, and there's so many highs and lows to what we do here. So many highs and lows. You know, it took a long time to get here. So I just want you guys to understand that I will never sugarcoat it. I will never flex on you. I will never, you know what I'm saying? You will always get the real deal from me. Flex your inverse Reaper death cross fair value breaker. Yo, Zeus, you're funny, bro. Inverse Reaper death cross fair value breaker pattern. Yeah. What the hell? Let's see if this short hits. If it does, we're pulling up. We're pulling up on my funded futures and we're saying, give me my money, bro. Just kidding. All these issues with prop, bro. I don't know why they're all having these trade evade issues. Maybe it's, I think someone said it's an API issue. I don't know if that's true. That's true. I think Zag, my buddy Zag, told me that. I think it's an API issue. But me, NQ's probably, yeah. Sheesh. I could have taken out my Apex fundeds, but I didn't have them pulled up at the time, which is sad because I think this is gonna smack. These unicorns are diffy, bro. Unicorns are diffy. Who's your mentor? I'll just say ICT. I definitely was influenced by multiple people. So just to name a few people that have had a lot of influence on me: ICT, Ario, mmxm trader, probably the three biggest. But I also have put in an obscene amount of work and chart time into this. So I don't like to ever discredit myself or the work that I put in. But yeah, everything is based off what ICT taught. That's the truth. You know, everything that I've learned is based off what ICT is taught. So I would consider ICT my mentor. Looking forward to the paid Discord server, a server full of hungry, disciplined traders looking to make money. Man, I'm so excited for that too. I'm really, truly so excited for that. I just want to create a community of people that are just fully focused on this. You know, I want a community of people that live and breathe these charts. Live and breathe these charts. Like, I really only want people that are taking this. Like, I need people that have no plan B. That this is plan A. Like, they either succeed in trading or they just pursue it for the rest of their life. That's the type of people that I want in the Discord. By any means possible type of people. Just trying to build an amazing community in there. Guide everyone to profitability. In the most simple way possible too. That's the crazy thing. I truly believe this is the most simple way of viewing price. Big fan of Ario for sure, dude. Ario's a great dude. Let me get in there, bro. I got you. Have I found a cheat code? It's still not at entry. Like 3 candles early. Sus. What do you mean? Where's your entry? My entry would have been right at this breaker. fair value gap breaker, whatever you want to say, you know, this overlapping area, whatever you call it. To me, this is a overlapping breaker, and fair value gap, this is a unicorn. So either it stops us out up here or it smacks 2R for us, but we're just in this mental. I'm not actually in this trade because of my funded futures and their issues. So we'll see if it pans out. But basically the analysis, just to break this down, NQ has failed to offer fair value and head higher from that fair value gap. You know, we're getting strong candles, closes through this weekly fair value gap, this area of fair value. This is an area where I said, you know, NQ could potentially shift bullish and head higher from. So I wanted to wait. But as you can see, nothing from the top down right now. 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute. Nothing is saying higher prices from that weekly gap on NQ. So we're expecting lower. NQ is weaker than ES. We're expecting lower prices here. ES as well has this weekly gap we may be drawing to here. We have this 4 hour overlapping. This is also a unicorn on the 4 hour right here that formed. So we have a breaker block right here. For value gap, again, you don't even need to think about all that if you don't want to. You can literally just take this overlapping area with the fair value gap. But long story short, right, we have very clear lower prices. ES has this 1 hour gap right here that we're rejecting. We take the 5 minute unicorn right here off the 1 hour PD, right? So lower draw on liquidity, 1 hour PD right here. 5 minute unicorn. It's interesting because that did prevent the 15 minute for value gap, but I do think that this still has a lower. I want to see this 15 minute order block hold. There unfortunately is no plan B. That's how I want it, man. I need everybody in my Discord server on that mentality. There is no plan B by any means possible mentality. We're going to make this work. Those are the type of people I want in the Discord. How long to become a consistent trader? It depends on every person. It's not a set in stone thing. It's not a guarantee that, oh, within 2 years you'll be profitable. It takes a different amount of time per person. There's a lot of things that you have to tackle. There's a lot of demons within yourself that you need to figure out, and I can't answer that question for you because I don't know. There's no set in stone answer to that. All you can do is consistently show up to the charts, consistently trade, consistently journal, you know, improve 1% every single day, and then you'll get there. I don't know when you'll get there, but you will. It's inevitable. Your thoughts on dev? What's dev? Question on IRL, ERL in general. How do we know which probability is higher for it to move to low? So I get what you're saying. So the way that you understand which way we're likely to trade towards ERL is by understanding the current state of order flow. So let me find a good example. So NASDAQ here, we look at the most recent range. We have internal to external. This is external. This is external. So now you're asking, you know, how do we know which external we're likely to draw to? The way to understand which external we're likely to draw to is by understanding the current state of order flow, because this is very clearly, you know, bullish daily institutional order flow. So we're viewing these pullbacks as just pullbacks to a discount array to head higher towards this external. So we want to submit to the higher time frame trend and the higher time frame order flow. So the way to understand which external we're likely to seek is by understanding the state of this order flow. The state of this order flow is bullish. So we'd be looking for it to draw towards that external. It's just by understanding the state of order flow. So now the daily potentially shifting order flow here with this new fair value gap lower. Let me look at the chat. 19,730. Let's see what you're seeing. Yeah, sell side. Looking at this weekly gap on ES. Chat noted with thanks. Yeah, my chart is late. I don't know how it's late 10 minutes. So you need real-time data, brother. You have to pay for real-time data on CME Group. It's like $7 a month. Yeah, so you have to pay for real-time data or else it's going to be delayed. So you're just basically looking at delayed data because you have to pay for the real time. Yeah. On ES and NQ, we are in a 4-hour fair value gap waiting for a lower time frame. Change in delivery for longs. I only focus on the most recent price leg. I'm not worried about fair value gaps over to the left over here. Personally, I don't trade that way. I think the draw is lower, but that's just me. I only use the most recent swing high to swing low. Current order flow. Craig, what's up? What's up? Change my trading to its first model. Now it's structure and viewing, making sure the 4-hour and 1 hour had a line. Absolutely. The 4-hour and 1 hour being in alignment is so, like, it's so simple, but it's so crucial because they're the compass. So once they're in alignment, that's when you can say, all right, now the 4-hour order flow is confirming that we're going higher on the daily or weekly. So now we can long these 4-hour PD rates. Now 100% Elijah, 100%. That is a game changer. It's simple, but it's huge. Making sure that they're in alignment. On a 4-hour PD rate, would you take a 5-minute unicorn bump? I would, yeah, personally. That's what my data has told me. I ended up changing that rule for myself just through the data. I've seen a lot of 5-minute unicorns deliver off of 4-hour PD rates. So I will, yes. Or do you consider kill zones in your trading plan or not? Yes, yes, for sure. Or do you consider, sorry. So for intraday, absolutely. Mbatu, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Mbatu trade. For intraday trading, so when you're entering on the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute, I absolutely consider kill zones. You need volatility injection in price. You need to know that price actually wants to move at the time that you're executing. So if you're entering on a lower time frame, you become much more, what's the word? Like, you must submit to the volatility in price. So you need it on your side. So for that reason, I only execute intraday and kill zones. If you're swinging on the 4-hour or daily, it becomes more insignificant. You don't really need to worry about kill zones. Price is going to do what price is going to do. You don't need to worry about having volatility on the entry, but definitely intraday. Absolutely, I use kill zones. I only trade New York intraday. So ES and NQ, all I do is trade 8 to 12. I could trade PM session. There is a PM session kill zone on indices. I personally don't want to be a slave to the charts. I don't want to be at the charts all day. I got into this for the time freedom. And so I'm not going to, sit at the charts all day. So that's why I trade 8 to 12. I look for my swing entries in the mornings. I look for my swing entries throughout the day. I set alerts. And then intraday 8 to 12, that's when I trade ES and Q. But absolutely, you should use kill zones. Once you have that shift in, once you have that aligned, dude, it's over. I use 15 minutes for a more focused view. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I still will hold trades when the kill zone is ended if it hasn't hit my target. But with futures, you need to be out by I think it's 4:10. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to be out. So I'll get flat if it doesn't deliver on my futures account. But I wouldn't do that if I didn't have to. Every time I wait for the second order flow, price just went. Yep, exactly. Yeah, exactly. See this. had the exact same exact same conclusion. It's funny that you say that. And I love that you're making that conclusion through your data. You know, just because someone says to do something doesn't mean that you have to do it, right? Just because we were told to wait for the second order flow leg or whatever on the 5 minute doesn't mean that's what you have to do. Let your data tell you what works. For me, the 5 minute unicorns off 4 hour PD ray are very valid. The same thing with 15 minute unicorns off of daily PD ray. So 1 hour PD rays, I'm taking 5 minute unicorns. 4 hour PD rays, I'm taking 5 minute unicorns as my minimum. And then the daily PD rays, I'm taking the 15 minute. This is just sloppy right now. See if the SIBI holds. If not, we may trade up into that 1 hour gap. Why is it doing this? See, you want to see how this 1 hour candle closes. So how this 1 hour candle closes determines if we're going to retest this gap or if we're going to create a breakaway gap and continue lower. 1 hour on ES has not created that SIBI. NQ has. So potentially we can do this. It depends on, again, how the 1 hour candle closes. If not, we will just head lower off this SIBI. No SIBI on ES. So NQ is clearly weaker. But I took this because I had the unicorn and because I had the PD ray to trade off of. Well, I'm not really in it, but it's a mental trade like we talked about. Alright, catch you next time, man. Time to go to bed. Alright, Zeus, bro. I appreciate you tuning in, man. Definitely message me on Discord. Let's catch up. Do you demand news on the day to trade ES, NQ, gold, and silver? For intraday, I do not demand news on the day for indices. So I literally just trade within New York. There's no news today. But I'm just trading what the price action is saying. Can still be a sloppy day because there's no news, which we might see. You know, I might take a loss. This isn't, again, I didn't actually get filled on this trade because of the issues with my funded futures, but just a mental trade. And I would put it in my data, you know, regardless of what happens here, it's going in my data because this would have been a valid trade. So it's either a loss or it's a win. But yeah, there's no news today, so it could be sloppy. We're kind of seeing that right now in the 5 minute with consolidation, but I'm expecting lower prices. Orange folder, yeah. To me, if there's no red, it's just there's no news. I just look at red and white. AQ. See how this 15-minute candle closes? Overlapping. So we want to see this area act as fair value. If this area fails to act as fair value on this OB, then we're likely taking a loss. We need this to head lower from here. There's no reason for us to do something like this right now. This order block right here should hold. This music is making me like want to go walk in the rain. Looking at 2015 for 1 hour BISI aligns with 4 hour OB and looking at 5 minute fill for fair value gap. On NQ, yeah, I like NQ shorts. Definitely weaker. 15 minute BISI or SIBI here. Potentially send it lower. We have the 1 hour third candle here. So this third candle again can either have a strong body close lower and become a breakaway gap for this 1 hour, or if we retrace, then this 1 hour may set up to retest that 1 hour SIBI. At least that's what I'm seeing. So we'll see. If that's going to happen, this 1 hour gap or this 15-minute SIBI gap is not going to hold. The 1 hour closes in 15 minutes. So we'll see. I'm gonna link the free Discord for you guys. If you guys haven't joined the free Discord, absolutely get in there. I mean, I just don't understand why you wouldn't, you know? It's free. Free knowledge, free access to me. I'll answer your questions. A free community of people that will also answer your questions, like-minded traders. There's resources in there. There are things like a free trading journal. There's educational content. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. Very helpful for a newbie like myself. God bless you, homie. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah, man, just if you're a newbie, I confidently think that finding my stuff, and I'm not trying to sound, you know, arrogant, but I confidently think that finding my stuff is the best thing for you. I think that if you study what I'm teaching and view price the way that I do, you'll have the most simple way of viewing price. And it's going to take time for you to find consistency with it. It's going to take time for you to understand where price is headed, you know, how these fair value gaps, how these liquidity pools work. But once you do and it clicks, you're going to have the most simple way of viewing price. So I really do think that finding my stuff is the best thing for you. So I appreciate you saying that, man. And I hope that you can stick around and study the stuff that I'm teaching, because I think it'll really, really help you and shorten your learning curve. Let's see if this 1 hour third candle closes like the way that this third candle is closing right now. It's signaling to me that this is likely going to be a retest. So we're going to see the 5 minute potentially shift bullish here. Trade into that 1 hour gap. We want to see ES just kind of mess around. Let's see what happens. Would like to see lower prices from there in 15 minutes. I wouldn't be expecting this 4 hour gap to get drawn to right now. Should be a breakaway gap. I'd like to see this 1 hour SIBI respect. Let me get all these boxes off. There's like way too many boxes. Yeah, it's a weekly gap. So what I like to do, just a little tip for you guys. What I like to do is transpose each drawing to the exact time frame. So if you go like this, you go to your visibility. After you click it, you can just show this on the weekly. So now I like to keep that there for every time frame to see that. But you won't see the weekly gap anymore. You'll still see this liquidity up here. Same thing with the 4 hour. Let's just show that on the 4 hour. Just keeps things nice and organized and clean. So again, let's see how this candle closes. Depending on how this candle closes will determine if that's a breakaway gap or a retest. If this 15-minute SIBI fails, then we're setting up to trade higher off the 1 hour gap. If the 15-minute SIBI holds, probably a breakaway gap on the 1 hour. My friend just messaged me and said my funded futures is no longer halting the trading on Tradeovate. Right after the trade. That's insane to me. Right after. That's wild. They just unhalted it. Right after I missed the trade. That's crazy. Sad times, man. NQ is weak. My funded futures really did me like that. You nailed it. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you. You guys grab anything yet? Waiting for an inverse to upside. So personally, Mike, if you want my opinion, I'm not ready for longs until the 1 hour or 4 hour shifts bullish. So until we get that change in state of delivery on the 1 hour and 4 hour, there's really nothing here that's signaling longs yet. So you need to understand that if you're going to be taking trades, you need all the time frames in alignment with what you're doing. So the reason I took this short right now, again, this is a mental short. I didn't get tagged in because of my funded futures being down. But the reason I took the short from the top down is because we're saying lower prices. Yes, we have the bullish order flow here, but we have a draw on liquidity towards fair value, towards this fair value gap. We have NQ failing to head higher off of that fair value gap. So I'm looking forward to potentially seek this sell side, lower prices. We have the 4 hour is bearish, creating clear fair value gaps lower, clear fair value gaps lower, 1 hour as well. So everything in terms of the intermediate time frames, everything right now is signaling lower prices. So to me, I'm definitely not ready for longs. And then my entry was 1 hour fair value gap here, 5-minute unicorn entry. So I entered right here off this breaker, this unicorn. No news today. Been sloppy delivery thus far, but so far so good. We'll see. Definitely going to journal this trade. It would have been a valid short for me. I would have taken it if I could have. Win or loss, it will go in the journal. But yeah, I'm not ready for longs yet. If I was to be ready for longs, I need to see the 4 hour and 1 hour shift. And right now, I think that we're seeking the sell side. Thanks for the breakdown. I got you. We'll stay patient and wait for another setup. Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but essentially what you want to do is you want to... I have a full video breaking it down if you want to check that out. But basically, you want to use time frame alignment and understand that the time frames from the top down right now are not saying longs. The 4 hour has shifted bearish here. We're creating clear fair value gaps lower. So this was bullish order flow. Now we've shifted bearish. The 1 hour very clearly shifted bearish as well. Even the 5-minute and the 15-minute right now are still bearish. So nothing in terms of order flow and the state of where order flow is right now is saying bullish. The only thing that is still bullish is the macro, the highest time frames. This time frame is still mechanically bullish. This time frame is still mechanically bullish, but I'd argue they're pulling back right now. So that's what I'm seeing personally. If we were going to go higher, we would have done so from this gap. And then ES would have followed suit with NQ. But NQ is very weak, and it's not heading higher from that fair value gap. Would it be better to just dump 500 or so into an account and trade until you choke it? I would just use a demo until you're profitable, and then once you, yeah, this of course demo trading first. Yeah. So I would find consistent profitability trading demo, and then I would either just start trading prop because it's so cheap. Start buying Apex futures accounts or whatever, my funded futures, Top Step. They're so cheap. I would start trading prop and practice through that. And then once you've found consistency with prop, once you've found that you have no psychological issues, you know that you're consistently profitable, that's when I would move into a live account. Start putting like real life, your own personal live funds behind what you're doing. So I'm trading a live account right now, but in the beginning, I started on a demo. I started trading prop, started, profiting consistently, and then I made the personal account. So the personal account, funding the personal was the last thing that I did. As opposed to most people, they will just fund a personal account and start gambling. That's how you'll end up losing money. So you have to play the long game here. Like you truthfully may not see profit for the first 2 years, 3 years. It could even be 4. I don't know what your journey is. I don't know how long it will take. You could start seeing profits early on. There's no time frame to what you're doing. You have to just play the long game. You have to submit to the process. And I would highly recommend just studying the things that I teach. You'll have the quickest path to get there, and the most simple way of viewing price. But you got to play the long game. You have to love every second of the journey and the process. Because if you don't love the process, then you're not going to be able to withstand the highs and lows of this game, because there's a lot of highs and lows. 6 years, wow. Yeah, man. Everyone's time frame is different. Open up a $100 account on Oanda and start trading across all forex pairs using the swing model. It helps in your psychology. Yeah, William, what I would do is figure out what you want to do with your trading. Do you want to be an intraday trader? Meaning, do you want to enter on like the 5-minute, the 15-minute, maybe even the 1 minute? Do you want to be a swing trader where you enter on the 4-hour and you hold for days, even a week? You have to figure out what fits your personality, what you want to be, what fits your time schedule. If you work during the day or you have a limited time, swinging is probably the better option. If you have the time to be at the charts 8 to 12, if you have the time to be at the charts at whatever kill zone throughout the day, then you can intraday trade it. When did you start trading? I started trading like 2019. The first thing that I did was trade options on Robinhood, and I lost a ton of money trading options because all I would do is I wouldn't even look at the charts. I would just buy calls. I had no idea what I was doing. I would just see Apple green and I'd be like, oh, okay, Apple's going up. I'll buy options for the end of the week, and I'd just lose money. I'd get cooked. Then I started looking at like penny stocks and swinging penny stocks, like late 2019. Lost money doing that. Started to get annoyed, and I'm the type of person where once I get committed to something, I go all out. So ever since those days, I have not left the charts, man. Like, I've been at the charts, living and breathing this every single day for the last 4 years, almost 4.5 years. And when you just do that, when you put that time in, it compounds. Yeah, I've literally been at New York session. I've literally been at these charts every single day, like without fail, no days off. Market maker sell model on NQ 4-hour, right? Yeah, I'm seeing the same. The 4-hour shift to state of delivery. Looks like a sell model for sure. Potentially towards these lows. Sell model, 4-hour, selling off. Sloppy delivery thus far. I'm starting from the very bottom of the bottoms. I have just an iPad in the free version of TradingView. I like the idea of intraday. However, I suck pretty bad at it. It's gonna take a lot of time, man. It's gonna take time. Yeah, it's hard to give you advice. If you like intraday, definitely do intraday. Focus on ES and NQ like I've been doing. My advice for you if you're gonna trade intraday is, if you can be at the charts, 8 to 12 every morning, focus on ES and NQ. Practice what I teach on a demo account until you find some consistency. You need to learn how to manage your risk on every trade, every single trade. There's so many things, man. It's not easy to do this stuff. It really isn't easy. There's so many things that you have to learn starting off. So if you're right at the beginning, man, just brace yourself for the journey. I'm not trying to sound negative. I'm just being realistic with you. I'm being transparent. It definitely is the hardest thing that I've ever learned how to do, but you can definitely do it. I'm no different than you. And other people that are profitable are no different than you. We've just started a bit earlier, but now that you're here, start now. Don't stop, and you'll be in the same place in due time. But yeah, first thing you have to do is manage the risk. I'm really gonna break this down for you, bro. The very first thing that you need to learn how to do. I'm talking to I'm talking to straight beginners here, people that are just starting off. The very, very first thing you need to do is learn how to manage your risk. Because if you're not managing your risk, you're gambling. So if every single trade, you don't predetermine the risk, if you don't understand the downside, your maximum loss of every single trade, then you're gambling, bro. Point blank period, you're gambling. Because you're not managing the risk. So you must understand that, how to manage risk. I would look into risk management. Consistently manage the risk of a demo account. Risk 1% per trade. Once you've understood risk management, you know how to, manage the money. Start diving into psychology, mastering your psychology. You need to be able to let the numbers play out. You need to be able to let every trade either hit target or stop you out. So if you watch my live streams, you'll see I literally just sit here and do nothing. I enter my trades, I set the risk. So I set my maximum risk, I set my loss, I set my target, I set my entry, I get filled on the trade, and then it just goes. And I either win or I lose. And then I go to the next trade and I do it over and over and over again. And that's all trading is. It's not this, it's way too glorified by these forex gurus. It's there's a quote, and someone said good trading is boring, and it's so true, bro. It's boring. And I love it. I'm so blessed to do this every day. I show up and I love what I do every single day. But it is boring because you're doing the same thing over and over again. I'm not euphoric. I'm not all excited. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, once you've mastered the emotions and you're able to let the numbers play out, let the trades hit, stop loss or target, and you're not dulling the edge, then all you need is a strategy. And I have videos teaching all of that. I teach my entire strategy for free. I teach everything that I do on these live streams. I don't hold anything back. You guys are literally seeing everything that I do. There's nothing that I'm holding back. It's all out there for you guys to have. So everything that you need is out there on what I'm teaching on social media. Going forward, I am doing the premium Discord, and I want to have a premium community where I'm able to give you guys my time and cultivate a community of profitable traders. But like I said, the reason that's paid is because you're getting one-on-one, hands-on time from me. It's me actually guiding and mentoring you. But for the people that don't want to pay for it, it's all out there on the YouTube, on the social media. Your learning curve is it's gonna take you longer to figure out. There's the reason for the paid community, for the premium Discord, is going to be a shortened learning curve. So if you want to get to your end goal faster, that is where I'll step in. That is where I'll be able to help. I'll help you find profitability faster than the people that are just studying my stuff for free. So It's really important to understand. If you want to get to profitability faster, if you want to be consistent faster, you need a mentor. You need someone that's guiding you there. You need someone that's teaching you what to do and what not to do, so you don't have to learn yourself. You can learn from my mistakes and not make the same mistakes. That is the purpose of the premium Discord. I want a community of people that are just absolutely grinding. No plan B. Make this work by any means possible. But for the people that don't want that, then study my social media. Study the stuff that I teach. It's all out there. Right from the get-go, I have trouble with being patient. Half the time my entry sucks because I'm afraid of letting it run without me. Yep, so that's emotions for sure. It's just an emotional thing. It's called fear of missing out. And you're afraid to let trades run without you. You're afraid to miss trades. You're afraid to not get involved with the move. And that's just something you're going to have to work on. You have to understand that the bus comes around every single day. There's always a bus that you can catch. The bus always comes around. Same time every single day. The markets will always be here. There's always going to be something that we can trade and make money on. So there's no reason to FOMO or freak out. I mean, look what happened to me today. I'm supposed to be in this short right now with real money. Like, I'm supposed to be I'm supposed to have risk on and be in the short from right here. But there's issues with Trade Evade. There's issues with the prop firm that I'm using. So I could have freaked out and forced a trade to get involved in this. I could have forced it and got in down here. Or I can just sit and watch and take a mental trade and study and show you guys that there's no reason to FOMO. I never have emotions, and it's because I focused on dialing in my emotions for so long in the beginning of my trading. You won't see me get emotional. You truly won't. And that's just the reality. And the only reason for that, it's not because I'm a robot. It's not because I'm not human. It's because I worked on it for so long. I worked on my emotions endlessly for so long that now they're not an issue. So I would encourage you guys to do the same. You have to dial in your psychology. I don't get emotional in trades. You won't see that happen for me. 4 years ago, entirely different story. 4 years ago, I was FOMOing. 4 years ago, I was scared to put on risk. I was hesitating. 4 years ago, I was not where I'm at mentally right now with my trading. I wasn't where I'm at mentally in general. I just was a different person 4 years ago. That's why trading is so hard. It's a reflection of who you are at the time too. You have to be a disciplined person. You have to be a patient person. You have to build those skill sets to be able to have that reflect into your trading, because everything that you struggle with outside of trading is probably going to get reflected into your trading. If you're an impatient person, you're going to be an impatient trader. If you're an impulsive person, you're probably an impulsive trader. Number one goal in trading is preserving capital. Absolutely. We're risk managers. We're professional risk managers. If you're not managing your risk, you're gambling. Point blank period. Live to trade another day. Yep. You understand the downside. You cap the risk. You understand what your risk is. And once the edge is presented, you set that risk and you let the edge play out. The crazy thing is, you can have a extremely profitable trading plan. You can have a strategy that is extremely profitable, but if you have emotions, if you don't manage the risk, then you won't profit. Simple as that. You have to be able to let the edge play out. You have to be able to let the numbers do their thing. At the end of the day, this is all numbers. You need to view it as a data set. Operating out of a numeric or probabilistic mindset is the most beneficial thing that you can do. Because when you understand that this game is all probabilities, you're able to just let the probabilities do their thing. Yesterday, I took an entry on Swiss franc yen for swing trade as it tapped a weekly internal and gave 4-hour change of state delivery. I took the direct entry on the 4-hour. Since yesterday, it's hovering over there. What's your suggestion about it? I mean, if you set the trade, just let the trade work. That's really all I can say about that. I don't want to give you advice and then steer you out of a trade. If you've already set the trade, then let the trade work. I was looking at this the other day I didn't take it, but it looks like we ran this low, created these equal lows. Just in a weird spot right now. Let me look at it from the top down. Monthly bullish order flow, weekly inside this weekly internal to external. We are potentially creating this weekly gap here. It's not something that you would want to see. That's favorable for long, so it's not a good sign. The 4 hour did potentially shift here. We ran this low. Just, I wouldn't touch this right now, but if you're already in the trade, just let the trade work. Personally, I wouldn't. I either get stopped out or I hit the target. That's how it works for me. Even if we pull back and stop me out, it's just a loss. It's one trade out of thousands that I'll take. It does not matter. One single trade should never affect you mentally. It should never affect your capital to the point that it actually, it should never have a detrimental effect on you. It's just one trade. Do you know how many trades we're going to take over the course of our careers? Can you share some of your trading rules? So with this indices model, with the trading plan that I use on indices, I only take one loss per day. If I take a loss, I'm done for the day. I will take multiple trades if they set up in a day if I won the first trade. So if I win the first trade and then later there's another setup, which is unlikely, but if it happens, I will take it if I won the first trade. But if I lose my first trade, I'm done for the day. I walk away from the charts. I wait for the next day. Simple as that. If it's one loss, I'm done. So that's my rule for indices. My other rule is 2 losses per week. So if I take 2 losses, I'm just going to sit out the rest of the week. I'm preserving my capital. I'm not breaking my rules. Risk management before anything else. Another one of my rules with this trading plan is set and forget. A lot of people like to trail their stops. A lot of people, I understand it. If price is all the way down here, I understand not wanting to take a full stop. I understand wanting to move this to break even. If that's what you want to do, then do that. That's completely fine. I understand the logic behind that. But for me, I found that it dulls my edge. I found that it introduces emotions. It introduces... Here, this is the best way I can explain it. When I set my risk on this trade right here, this is my risk. This is my stop loss. This is what invalidates my trade idea. So it can be whatever amount of money that it is. It depends on what capital I'm trading. If my risk is, per se, $200, this is my downside right here. This stop loss is my downside. I've already, managed the downside. So there's no reason for me to go on preserve capital mode. There's no reason for me to try to protect my capital in the trade. That's just my opinion. This, again, everything that I say here is just my opinion. You don't have to agree. You don't have to subscribe to what I think. It's just what I found from my trading. I've already preserved the capital with this stop loss. This is my ultimate downside. This is my maximum loss. This $200 stop loss. So why would I go ahead and dull my edge, choke out a winning trade to preserve capital when it's already managed? There's no reason for me to move my stop loss here and then move my stop loss here. And then once this moves lower off this, move my stop loss here. Because you're just dulling the edge. You're choking out a winning trade. If this wants to retrace and pull back into this and head lower, it can do that. Price is random. So for me, the best thing that I've done is just set it and forget it. I manage the loss. Like I said, I set the $200 risk, whatever it is. I either get stopped or I hit target. Yes, there's going to be times when it does this. It doesn't hit my target here, and then I take a full stop. It's going to happen. It's going to suck. But you get used to it. And it's the purest way of letting the numbers play out. So either I hit for 2R, plus 2R, win, or I lose minus 1R on the loss. If I win more than 33% of the time, which you can bet your ass I do, I'll make money. So plus 2R every win more than 34% of the time, you'll be making money. It's the purest way of letting the numbers play out. I just got an alert on gold. I don't know what alert I had set. That thing just scared the F out of me. I don't know if you guys heard that. If you did, I'm sorry. That might have just cooked your ears. It cooked my ears. Gold just died from the monthly buy side. I don't know what my alert was. There's nothing here right now. I must have accidentally set that. Mental trade, so far so good. We're in green. I'm not going to move the stop down. I'm not going to dull my edge. I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. It's either hitting the target or it's hitting my stop loss. Plus 2R or minus 1R every time. It's the best thing I've done for my psychology. I mean, literally find a strategy that wins more than 34% of the time. Have the data that shows it, that proves it. Like, you need to have data in your hands that says that your win rate is above 34% of the time. If you're winning 2R on every trade, so every single winner needs to hit 2R or more. If you're doing that and you win more than 34% of the time, you will make money. It's numbers. It's literally numbers playing out. There's no way you lose money if you're winning more than 34% of the time, if you're hitting 2R. So every single one of my winners hits 2R. I have like a 60 or 70% win rate, depending on the strategy. I'm going to make money. It's numbers. It's the numbers playing out. It's just literally numbers. What's your day trading routine for the day for you to get on the charts? So I'm actually trying to work on when I get up. I've been getting up at like 8 a.m., which is not ideal. I want to start getting up at like 7. I used to wake up at like 7, but lately I'm not going to lie. You know, I'm taking accountability. It's my fault. But also I've been like sleeping in sometimes with my girlfriend, and then now my sleep schedule is messed up. So it's not her fault. It's my fault. I'm taking full accountability. But that is the reason why. So I want to start being up at 7. I wake up at 7. I'm at the charts by 8. 8 to 12 is my kill zone for futures. Intraday indices. That's what I do. I show up at 8. And then all I'm doing is understanding where the higher time frame is drawing to. Are we drawing lower? Are we drawing higher? From there, I'm waiting for a higher time frame PD ray on the 1 hour or 4 hour, either a fair value gap or a liquidity pool in the direction of my draw and liquidity. And then once we tag those, I'm waiting for the 5-minute or 15-minute unicorn entry model, which is exactly what I showed you here. This is a unicorn where we sweep a high. So all right, hold on. We create this swing high here. Swing high, trade lower. We sweep that swing high right here. This buy side liquidity, this swing point gets swept. Then we create clear displacement through that. This becomes a breaker block. Now we have a fair value gap aligned with that breaker block. And that becomes resistance. It becomes an area where smart money should mitigate their orders. So if we move this over, the formation is this. This obviously looks bad because it's all spread out. So let me move this over. But this is all I'm doing for my entry model. This is irrelevant. This stuff over here. The entry model is this. Simple. That's my entry model. We run the high. This is just for indices. I'm telling you guys, this is just for my indices model. We hunt this high, stop hunt at this high. We create a breaker block right here. The lowest down close candle that forms right here is a breaker. This is our breaker block. And then we have a fair value gap that forms within that breaker, aligned with it. Now this is a unicorn. Take the unicorn setup, I risk the high, or I cover the breaker. I target 2R in the direction of my draw and liquidity. And then I literally just let the numbers do their thing. Win more than 34% of the time. Every winner hits 2R. Make money. Trading can be simple if you allow it to be. If this reverses, goes all the way up here, then I would have taken a loss on this. Again, I didn't get filled on this trade because we had the my funded futures issues. So for the people that were in the stream earlier, you know, I'm not actually in this trade right now. It's just a mental trade. But regardless, if I was in this trade, I'm letting this hit the stop loss. I take a loss. I move on to the next day. I take my one loss for the day. I go on to the next day. It's literally all it is. Good trading is boring. It's rinse and repeat. Which is better to trade, forex or futures? I'm still puzzled which is better for me. That's subjective. It depends on the person. Indices have way better fills. They're better for intraday, in my opinion. So if you want to be an intraday trader, I would recommend trading futures, specifically ES and NQ, the indexes. If you want to be more on the higher time frame, if you want to be more swing type trader, I would recommend forex. The spreads suck. There's rollover with forex. There's a lot of things I don't like about forex. Honestly, I still trade it because there's a lot of things that are good about forex as well. Do you target liquidity or just 2R from the entry? I just target 2R in the direction of where price is drawing to on the higher time frame. I don't target a specific liquidity on the 5-minute or 15-minute. I don't target, you know what I'm saying? I target static 2R in the direction of where price is drawing to. So I think this price on the daily is drawing towards this sell side. I think that ES wants to draw lower. I have the 1 hour PD array in the direction of that draw on liquidity. So this 1 hour fair value gap should reject and head lower towards that draw that the daily is drawing to. So all I do is I wait for a unicorn entry. I set 2R in the direction of that draw, and then I let it hit. It either stops me out or it hits 2R. And I just do that over and over and over again. And I have a bunch of funded accounts with futures firms on a copier. So at this point, I have like 15 different accounts on a copier, and the capital just does the heavy lifting. I manage the risk, and that's it. Bro got a Latina. Yeah, she is Latina. She's Colombian. I love Latinas, bro. She's Colombian. You mind sharing the watch list? This is my entire filtering watch list. There's a ton of stuff on here. But going into every week, every Sunday, for the people that have been following me, you know that every Sunday I go through this and I filter a list out of longs, shorts, and then wait lists, things that I'm waiting on. For Solis, which is my intraday plan, Solis is my intraday trading indices plan. All I do is look at ES and NQ. We're just consolidating. Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. No news today. Kind of expected. But again, this was a valid short for my edge, for my trade. So we'll see if it hits. If it doesn't, it's whatever. I'm journaling it. On to the next. On this ES1, which you didn't get tapped in on the trade you wanted, do you still hold it until it does tap you in? When do you start invalidating or removing it? So once we deliver, this is my entry. My entry is at this breaker. Once we deliver lower, I personally am not chasing this. You know, other people will trade multiple forms of the market maker models. It's kind of hard to explain. You can do that. I do that on my other trading plan, but for this specific trading plan, once we tag into the breaker, once we tag into the unicorn, that is my entry. If I don't catch it, then I'm not taking it. So I'm not chasing it right here for 2R. And honestly, this is just consolidating. It looks sloppy. You know, this might be a loss. It just looks really gross right now. So I would never chase this right here. Once we've tagged into the unicorn, that's my entry. If I don't get it, I don't get it. For intraday, for my Solis trading plan, that's what I do. So once it hits the unicorn entry, this is my entry model. That's where my order is set. If I don't get it, I don't get it. When will your video about order flow shifts be online? I'm hoping this Friday. I would love to get that video up this Friday. I'm waiting on the editor to send me the revisions. But I'm hoping this Friday. If we entered the fair value gap on the unicorn, would you take an entry, or is it would you like, would I re-enter from the fair value gap? I wouldn't. I would just take this. So you always want to enter on the breaker block, not the fair value gap of these unicorns, because the breaker is what can send it lower. So it's kind of hard to explain. Let me see. I don't know if I can find an example right now, but if the breaker is up here, let me explain it. All right, so hold on. I'm trying to think about how to explain this. You always want to enter on the breaker block of these unicorns. Change this. Okay, so the lowest down close candle before this stop hunt, before the high that gets swept, this down close candle, the lowest down close candle is our breaker block. This is the breaker, okay? So what you'll see, and what you will learn with ICT, is that the breaker, the PD array matrix, is a hierarchy. So breaker, mitigation block, it goes mitigation block, breaker, I think it goes fair value gap, order block, liquidity pool, something along those lines. And so it's a hierarchy. The mitigation blocks and breaker blocks can get hit, and we can just head lower off of that. So if there's a fair value gap up here that aligns with the breaker, we may not even tag into it, because the PD array matrix is a hierarchy. So this is a unicorn, yes, the FEG is aligned with it, but the breaker is below it. And the breaker, it's essentially, it takes higher precedence. So you always want to enter at the breaker on the unicorns and not at the fair value gap, because a lot of times what you'll see is we just respect this breaker and head lower. We don't trade into the fair value gap. We don't have to. So you always want to enter on the breaker on these unicorns. But again, the unicorn is literally just stop hunt at a higher time frame PD array, and then a fair value gap that forms within the breaker block. Entry at the breaker block, cover the breaker block, or take the swing point right here. Target 2R. Simple. Rinse and repeat. So if I was in this trade right now, again, I didn't get tagged in. If I was in this trade, I'm doing nothing right now besides talking to you guys. You guys have seen my other streams. I've been in live trades in front of you guys. You know, there's nothing that I do. I just let the trade work. It really can be that easy. And once you learn to just let it be that easy, that is when you start to profit. Because I have no emotions. I don't care if this is a win or a loss. I'm detached from the outcome. You know, I know that this is just one trade over the span of my trading career of thousands on top of thousands of trades, and the numbers just play out over time. This is the tough part, seeing price moving against you, putting doubt in your mind. Right, but you got to understand, that is why I do set it and forget it. That doesn't happen to me. If price retraces like this, I'm not going to close the trade. If price just starts moving up against me, I'm not going to close the trade. And that is the beauty of just set it and forget it. Set the stop loss, set the target, and forget it. Because once you fully accept that it's either hitting the stop loss or the target, no emotions get introduced to your trade. You don't introduce any other variables. You don't worry about... It's hard for me to explain, because like what I said before, when you go into capital preservation mode, meaning what I mean by that is moving your stop loss lower, it introduces variables into your trading where you're like, okay, how can I avoid this loss? How can I prevent this loss? Okay, I can move the stop loss here. Now I can move it here. We shouldn't go higher than this. And so you're choking out a winning trade, and you're going into capital preservation mode, and it just introduces emotions, because now you've given yourself the power to avoid losing. Now you've given yourself the power to tighten that stop loss. Whereas if you just set the stop loss, you know, $200 risk, whatever your risk is, set the stop loss, set it, and then forget it. And then you set the target, and you just let them do their thing. It either invalidates the trade or it validates it for plus 2R. Then you never introduce those variables. You never have to fight your brain about trying to save the trade or prevent the loss. You just fully submit, and the numbers just play out. This is why I do set it and forget it. And I used to trail my stop loss. For those of you that have been following me for a while, you might have seen I used to trail my stops. You know, if we created a new fair value gap lower, I would trail my stop. But I don't do that anymore. I either take the loss or I take the win. Yep, TP or stop loss, exactly. I'm not introducing other variables into my trading. I want my trading to be as simple as possible. Is unicorn just a fair value gap with OLOD, or it must be a breaker? Right, so not every OLOD is a breaker. Not every overlapping line of defense is a breaker. It needs to be a breaker block. So a unicorn it has to be a breaker block, and the fair value gap has to form within the breaker block. It has to be aligned with it. For drawing the breakers, do you always include wicks or sometimes only the body? I use the wicks. I grab the entire candle, top to bottom wick. If it's a series of down close candles, you grab both. If it's just one down close candle, then you just grab the full down close candle. Because this is a series of 2 down close candles, I grab this full thing. This is the breaker. This price action is so sloppy, bro. But I'm enjoying this talk we're having. I'm not even really at the charts right now to do anything else. There's nothing for me to do the rest of today. I'm just enjoying this. I feel like we're dropping some gems here. Love your talks, man. I love it too, man. I truly love it. I love doing this stuff. I love what I do. I love helping you guys. I'm just so blessed to be in this position. I'm so grateful to be able to help guide you. I'm so grateful to be able to trade and do this. I'm just blessed, man. That's how it should be. Could have closed this earlier. TP or stop loss. Is your and Sir Pickle's strategy the same? Yeah, Sir Pickle is like my best friend. We trade the exact same way. We talk every single day. What I'm doing, usually he's doing. What he's doing, usually I'm doing. And it's because we trade the exact same way. We view price the same way. We talk all the time. Him and I always tell him we sharpen each other. That's my guy, for sure. So yeah, we trade the same way. So I have a lot of things planned, man. I'm really excited for the future. Consistent YouTube videos. I hired an editor. I have an editor that's helping with my stuff. Consistent YouTube videos, consistent live streams. Premium Discord. I'm going to launch that soon. Announce a waitlist for the people that want to be, you know, mentored and guided, shortened the learning curve, etc., etc. That is what the Discord will be for. I need a community of people that are just dedicated and looking to find profitability. But that is something I'm planning on doing very soon. Waitlist will be announced soon. And from there, I just can't wait to help everyone. I'm excited to build that community. I'm excited for all of this. And then I'm just scaling my trading. You know, I'm just scaling with prop. I'm scaling my personal account. Scaling in all assets. Every single day we're just growing. We're becoming better. You know, on and off the charts, I'm becoming a better man. My word, my morals, what I do is very, very important to me. Every single day, I'm just trying to become better. How often do you do these live sessions? They're great. Definitely want to come to the next. So I'm going to be doing them on YouTube maybe twice a week. So every Sunday, there's a weekly forecast live stream. And then maybe once a week, I'll do the live trading like this. And then the rest of my live trading is going to be in the premium Discord. So these sessions are going to be probably twice a week in the premium Discord. So the premium will probably see me like three or 4 times a week live, whereas the YouTube will only see it like twice. But yeah, I plan on doing the live sessions multiple times a week. More in the premium Discord because they deserve it. You know, they're paying to be in the Discord. I want to over deliver on value with them and give them more of my time. But then the YouTube will get it too. The YouTube will still have the weekly Sunday forecast, just less live streams. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm very, very, very excited. I just genuinely believe I have the most simple way of viewing price. I think that there's no simpler way than viewing it the way that I view it. It's not me being arrogant. It's just the truth. I'm calling it. It's my opinion. I truly think that you won't find someone that does it more simple than this, that is profitable. Keyword, that is profitable. They need to be consistent with what they're doing. And I think that this is the most simple way you'll find of someone that's consistent. What would the cost be of the paid Discord? I'm thinking it's going to be $100 a month, which in my opinion is not a lot. You can make $100 on your first trade within the Discord. You throw $50 on a trade in risk, hit a 1 to 2R, you're making that $100 back that you paid to be in the Discord for that month. So I'm likely going to be doing $100 a month for a skill set that will make you 1 million X that in the future, potentially, if you scale. It's all capital. So once you learn this skill set, you can make an infinite amount of money. That's where I'm at right now. I'm just scaling my capital all around. We love your Sunday forecast. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. I love doing those too. They're fun. I love doing the YouTube live streams in general. They're just very, very fun to do. Yeah, this is just chopping. Kind of expected today with no news. Just slowly heading lower, but nothing for me to do, man. I haven't been focused on forex like I wanted to be lately. Just indices have been so nice, and a big payout is coming on indices if I just stay focused and keep trading indices. So I've kind of just been focusing on them because I'm trying to hit this payout. Looking forward to it. Would you say futures are more scalable? Everything's scalable. That's a good question, I guess. So the structure of futures prop firms is different than CFD prop firms, forex prop firms. There's more rules with futures. There's consistency rules. There's more rules and hoops that you have to jump through to get paid. But like Apex offers 20 accounts. You can have 20 accounts with Apex on a copier. So imagine max allocating 20 accounts with Apex and then throwing that on a copier. If you have the consistency and you follow their rules, those payouts are massive. So what I'm doing is I personally am going for 50K accounts. They're the easiest to pass. That's all I need. I don't need the biggest accounts. I just don't personally think I need to go for the largest accounts with them. So I'm going for 20 accounts with Apex, 20 50Ks. I have 5 fundeds with Top Step already. I have 8 fundeds with Apex already. And then I have 1 with my funded futures. And then I have 2 more that I'm doing evals on that are like halfway there. So I want to have, like literally 30 accounts, 30, 50K accounts on a copier with futures. And then it's really just set the risk, rinse and repeat, smack payouts, and let the copier do the heavy lifting. That way it's all the capital doing the heavy lifting. Futures are cheaper, but where they get you is the activation fees. So your Apex account might be $40 or $30, but that activation fee, if you pass, is going to be $150 or $200. So far, so good on the mental short. I'm not planning on staying live much longer, though. I feel like I talked about a lot of really good stuff today, though. I think that there's a ton of gems in this live stream. So for the people that end up seeing it, man, I feel like this is a really good live stream. I just talked about some real stuff in this live stream. More of like a Twitter space type thing. Like we are doing a mental trade here. I didn't get tagged in, but man, I just feel like this is a good live stream for sure. Lots of gems in here. Okay, my funded futures unhalted the trading. So now Tradeovate works. After they didn't let me get tagged into my trade. Classic. Bro, why is it playing? I'm gonna get copyrighted for that music. That's tough. Wasn't supposed to play that music. Shoot. They got us, boys. They got us. Now they're gonna take their share. Daily. Yeah, I want to see this head higher. This honestly does not look bad, man. This doesn't look bad at all. Only thing I don't like is the weekly and monthly. This is not bad. I'm actually a fan of this. The weekly and monthly are kind of gross. The daily has clear internal to external. 4 hour, 1 hour all in alignment. Something like that. I don't know why I can't get 2. That's annoying. Bearish dollar is definitely sus. Definitely agree with you. Can definitely see that. Nah, bro, I definitely agree. This is what I mean by I haven't been focused on forex. Forgot the dollar selling off. Yeah, that's interesting that UCAD is pushing still with a bearish dollar. Imagine if dollar was bullish. But yeah, good point, Theo. This is gonna set up a daily gap to head higher off of. I mean, head lower off of, probably. So it's definitely sus not having dollar in alignment, so I probably won't take it. I've not been focused on forex, man. Forgetting where Dixie's at. It is sloppy. Yeah, I'm not gonna take that because of where dollar's at. Dixie's selling off. Looks like Dixie will do a run of the sell side, but the retracement is possible. Yeah, I agree. I can see a retracement. Weekly, I'm looking for a daily gap to get formed here to potentially head lower off of. But bearish dollar, yeah, I definitely don't want a long UCAD. I'm gonna take this off. I'd be forgetting, bro, because I'm looking at indices so much. I'm like out of sync with forex. Forgot the dollar has been selling off. But yeah, mental trade, either hits stop loss or target. But I think I'm gonna wrap the stream up here. I don't really feel like staying on. I want to go eat some food. I want to. Are you taking ES for sell if NQ is weaker? So NQ is definitely weaker. I took ES because it traded into the 1 hour PD array, the 1 hour for value gap, and it offered the 5-minute unicorn, which is my entry model. So because ES had the entry model and NQ didn't, that is why I took it. But NQ's definitely been weaker, for sure. NQ hasn't traded into any higher time frame PD arrays though, whereas ES did. So I took it because it met my model and they both should decay lower. You know, ES should still head lower. That's why I took it. Just trading my model. Whatever sets up. If the model is there, I take it. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna wrap the stream up. I hope that this was insightful. I feel like I dropped a lot of gems in this stream. I feel like there was a lot of knowledge in this stream. So I hope you guys found it insightful. And yeah, man, appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate all the love. New content coming very soon. Very soon. New videos, you know, all that. I'll be in the Discord. I hope to see you guys in the Discord. I'll drop the link one more time. Appreciate you guys.